Worldwide News, May 18, 2025. Introduction. A cry from the Northeast, 57 lives. That's the human cost of just one night in Malam Karamti and Kwatandashi, two remote villages in Borno State, Nigeria. The attackers, believed to be militants from the Boko Haram faction Jama'atu Ali Sunna Lidrawati Wal Jihad, JAZ, left behind not only corpses, but a deeper, more haunting legacy: silence. The kind of silence that comes when the world stops listening to the same story repeated one too many times. Yet for every life lost, there is a name, a family, a story, and a question that still burns: how many more tragedies will it take before Nigeria radically rethinks its approach to national security? The current security strategy is failing despite over a decade of military operations in the northeast. Terror networks like Boko Haram and ISWAP, Islamic State West Africa Province, continue to thrive. In fact, bar graph in the first quarter of 2025 alone, over 610 civilians have been killed in terror-related violence in northern Nigeria, according to the International Crisis Group. Bar graph, a 2024 report by SBM Intelligence, noted that over 4.5 million people are currently internally displaced in the Lake Chad region, with Borno State bearing the highest burden. These are not just numbers. These are mothers who've buried children, farmers who've watched their homes burn, and young men abducted into armies they never signed up for. A real-world example: from liberation to despair. Take the case of Gwoza, a town once recaptured from Boko Haram by the Nigerian military in 2015. Nearly a decade later, residents live in fear, knowing militants operate just miles away. Community leaders recount how government aid barely arrives, schools remain shuttered, and local youth face a bleak choice: join the insurgents or flee. The illusion of victory has bred complacency when what we need now is urgency. Why the strategy must change. Key lessons from the Borno Massacre. 1. Military might without local trust is unsustainable. Security isn't just about boots on the ground. It's about hearts in the village. Locals were accused of collaborating with rival militants. In truth, they were likely caught between factions with no protection from the state. 2. Intelligence must be community-led. Drone surveillance and counter-insurgency units are essential, but villages are the first responders. Without their trust and cooperation, all technology is blind. 3. Terrorism thrives in the absence of governance, where roads are impassable, clinics non-existent, and schools turned into barracks. Ideology finds root. The war on terror cannot be won if governance doesn't return with liberation. A call to action. What thoughtful leadership looks like this is not a moment for blame. It is a moment for vision. Reform the national security architecture. Establish a unified civilian protection task force that includes community elders, youth leaders, and religious figures. Security is local. Invest in survivors. Trauma care, livelihood support, and education for the displaced must be non-negotiables, not afterthoughts. Global partnerships. Local ownership. International donors must prioritize locally led security innovation over foreign military hardware alone. Narrative empowerment. Let the people of Borno tell their stories through local media, education, and film. Their survival is not just resilience, it is a testament of national character. Conclusion. A nation's true north lies in Borno. The massacre in Malam Karamti and Kwatandashi is not just a tragic event. It is a mirror to the nation. A mirror that asks whether we are truly building a country where security is a right, not a privilege of geography or wealth. For young African professionals, especially in leadership, media, and digital innovation, this is your fight too. If your apps can reach millions, so can your advocacy. If your voice can echo on platforms, it can echo in policy halls. Build bridges where borders have failed. Injustice anywhere, especially where it's been normalized, is a threat to our shared humanity everywhere. Let us not forget the names of the dead. Let them be the names that sparked a revolution in how we protect life in this nation. Megaphone, if you believe it's time to rethink how we secure Nigeria, share this article and use the hashtag #RebuildBorno. Your voice could be the beginning of change.